That isn't a cloud. That is a forest fire in the mountains, and it's kind of scuppered the plans today. Not that I'm complaining about that, it is an awful situation. What we will do is head into the city and do a Q&A, get to know each other a little better, answer questions that you guys have asked me, including, yes, do I have a girlfriend? But I'm going to be an avoidant and leave that one until last. So, let's do it. Well, here we are. Let's get this Q&A started. And the first question was one that was asked a lot. Joe, tell me about yourself. Tell me where you're from. Well, welcome. I'm Joe, 34 years old. I know I might not look it, but unfortunately I am. I was born on a little island called Alderney in the Channel Islands, and I'm not going to expect you to know where it is because no one really knows where it is. But it's a little British island near France, closer to France than it is England anyway. It's about 2,000 people, 3 miles by 1 mile. And yeah, it's pretty small. I had to go away to boarding school. I was in boarding school in Bristol, and then I went to university in Exeter before taking a job in London. So I've been around the UK a little bit, but let me tell you where I live now. All right, can you guys guess where I live? On the island of Madeira, the Portuguese island of Madeira. It's pretty popular these days, but if you don't know it, it's a subtropical island, Portuguese, kind of on parallel with Morocco. It is part of Europe, and this is where I call home. Well, I first discovered Madeira because I had an ex-girlfriend from here, so I started visiting, and slowly but surely, and it took a while, I fell in love with the island. And after we broke up, I went traveling, and I was thinking, where do I want to come back to? I want to live in Europe. I want to kind of be close to the UK time zone. I want it easy for my family and friends to visit should they need to. And the only place that stood out in that criteria was Madeira. Plus, it's safe, it's friendly, there's plenty of things to do. It's a nice climate. There's a strong digital nomad community of remote workers. It was the obvious choice. In fact, it was pretty much the only choice in Europe. The other choice was in Asia, but after a lot of thought, Madeira won. Ooh, tough question. I've been here, well, living here permanently over a year now, which is a bit strange. It goes fast, but I travel, so maybe that's why. My favorite thing is probably the variety of things to do. On my little motorbike, in 20 minutes I can be in the mountains. In 5 minutes I can be on the beach. I can explore all the different microclimates, like I'm in Jurassic Park or in the jungle or on Mars or whatever. Whatever there is, there's variety, and I love it. Because for me, after traveling and experiencing all of these amazing places, I think my brain is in a mode where it needs to keep being stimulated. And if I was just in maybe a city or an environment which is just the same, maybe I would get a little bored. And then when you throw in all of the festivals and all of the things going on and all of the activities and groups and communities, definitely the variety of things to do. The answer is no, I didn't travel much when I was a child. In fact, I didn't really start traveling until my mid-20s and didn't really start traveling until my 30s. So perhaps it came from not having it as a child, growing up in a small place really that was a little bit secluded. Maybe that gave me the desire to get out and travel more. Probably comes down to 4 things. First, how much does it cost to get there? Big decision. I mean, that's a decision wherever you travel or however you travel. What are the prices of flights and accommodation? Secondly, am I interested in going there? I'm not going to go to places I'm not interested in, even just to make YouTube content. Thirdly, how easy is it to get there? I'm not the biggest fan of long haul, but I'll do it. But if I have to have 5 different stops, I'm probably going to think twice. And then finally, and maybe the least of all, I should probably pay more attention to this, but where is good for YouTube? I don't think even I've decided that yet. I've come back from a Mediterranean cruise. I've come back from 2 months in Asia, in Thailand and Vietnam. And now, to be honest, I just want to stay in Madeira for a little bit, make some content, explore the island even more. And then inevitably, when I get itchy feet, it'll be time to start thinking about next destination. But if you'd like to see me travel anywhere, let me know in the comments. Okay, there were quite a lot of food questions, so probably answer a few of them now. Although, actually looking at it, I love fun chow. Would have been a good spot to film the why I live in Madeira question. Anyway, food. Food is a huge part of my life. I absolutely love food. I love cooking. I love eating. But it wasn't always the case. And I can think of when that changed. I was just thinking, should I say it or not? I'll say it. I'll make it a bit generic. When I was 15, I was at home and I'd been out playing sport all day. And when one of my parents put the food down on the table, I went, what is that? How can you expect me to eat this? And they said, right, that's it. Tomorrow, you cook. And I did. And I realized I had a big passion for it and I really enjoyed cooking. And I have the type of personality that when I like something, I want to know more about it. I want to keep getting better. So I just became obsessed with it, really. Fell in love with it. Cooking, eating, understanding about food. And then when I started traveling, food and travel, well, it's like a hand in the glove, isn't it? It was just a natural thing. When I turn the camera on, they say, talk about what you're familiar with, food and eating, less the cooking, but yeah, no culinary background, which, to be honest, probably shows. That's a tough one because I love to experiment and try new things when it comes to food and travel. And at home in England, where I have my flat, I have a wall from ceiling to floor full of about 200 cookbooks, which I use for inspiration and learning new things from. And yeah, I was always cooking new things, but here in Madeira, to be honest, I keep cooking Asian, and whether that's Thai or Vietnamese or Chinese or Japanese, whatever it is, I keep cooking Asian, and particularly keep cooking spicy, because I want to keep my spice tolerance up, and I love chili. But that's a problem with other people, because when I cook for other people, they say, don't make it too spicy. Most people don't like it. It's just, well, not just me, but it seems to be I like it compared to a lot of people, let's say. So I'll probably go back to my roots. And I forgot to say in the Tell Me More section, I'm here, or I can live here, because I have a dual nationality. I have an Italian passport. And so maybe I'll go back to my roots. Maybe a risotto, maybe a homemade pasta, something like that for other people. But for me, let's turn the spice up. What about you guys? What's your favorite food? This question made me laugh, actually. And yes, I have another channel, Hungry to Explore. Head over there if you like food content and Asian content. I'm in places like Thailand and Vietnam and South Korea and Malaysia, and I do eat local food, and I do have some issues. But to be honest, most of the issues are from the spice, because I love the spice, but my stomach doesn't love the spice so much. But genuine food poisoning, I've had a handful of times, and it's a risk you take, but I think the risk is far less than the benefit you get of eating genuine street food. And then some tips. Check for hygiene, but understand it's not going to be perfect in Southeast Asia. Make sure you get a place that has, it's popular, it's busy, has good reviews, because it's their job. They're not going to be giving people poisoning because people won't come back. They don't want to do that. And if it's busy, there's high turnover, food's not sat around. So it doesn't matter that it's not refrigerated so well. Well, it's only there a few minutes because it's thrown in the wok and cooked. If you start to do these things, you mitigate your risks, but I would not swap losing the risk of food poisoning for giving up street food. It's one of the pleasures of being in Asia and why I keep going back. I've just come for coffee, guys, and look who I found. I actually don't know who I found, but look what I found. Little friend. I've come for a coffee at a place called Jacques Cafe. Very, very pretty. And I've got an iced latte. In this heat, it's pretty hot here at the minute. Definitely on the iced coffees. But this little cafe is gorgeous. Love the style, love the plants. I'm only delaying because I know I've got the personal questions to come. So let's start. English, just. English is my fluent language. It's my only fluent language, and I speak little bits of other languages, but very small bits. I understand a little bit of Portuguese, but I definitely don't speak it. Understand a little bit of Spanish, but I definitely don't speak it. And that's just me being lazy. I would love to. It's just finding the time. When everyone speaks English, it's so hard to find the motivation to actually just learn. it's one of those things I keep telling myself, I will do it, I will do it, I will do it, and then never do. And the other thing I would say on languages is, when I go to a new country, I do try and learn a handful of words. That tastes nice, hello, thank you, how are you, where's the bathroom, and just these phrases really do help just connect with the locals. And it doesn't take much to learn those phrases, especially if you're there for a week or two or a month. You start to pick them up, but it makes such a big difference. And I think it's the fact that, look, there's a whole multitude of reasons why I like living abroad. There's a reason I'm abroad, right, and not in the UK. And I think it's the fact that I'm constantly out of my comfort zone. I'm constantly learning new things about the culture that I'm in, and that's why I like traveling to new places to learn about different ways of doing things, different perspectives. But especially on this island, even if I've been to places before, I'm always feeling like I'm exploring somewhere. I'm on holiday. Not holiday mode, but you know, that excitement that you get from it. And I just don't feel that at all. Even if I'm exploring in the UK, I just don't feel that at all in the UK. So yeah, I'm not going to say never, but I'm pretty happy living abroad. I wouldn't change it for anything right now. I've said not the UK, and that's true. I don't see myself living in the UK or going back to Albany, maybe not until I'm about 80. But do I see myself living anywhere else? Well, first of all, I do love Madeira. I love Madeira for everything it is. Not without its frustrations, but then so is everywhere, right? I took a long time to decide between Madeira and places in Asia. I was thinking about Thailand, Bangkok. I was thinking about Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, and I was thinking about Seoul in South Korea. And next year, who knows? Who knows where I'll end up? But you never know. I'm happy here for now, but maybe there's a little itch in the back of my head. I worked at a British retailer in their head office. I was in IT. I was the IT project manager, and then I moved into the food side of the business, where I was running projects in food, helping the teams develop products. So I wasn't actually on the culinary side, but I was as essentially the project manager, still with an IT focus, but closer to doing what I love. Then I quit. I traveled. I did some IT consulting, just to bring in a little bit of money. And then after 6 months of that, I realized travel was what I needed to be doing again, and I fully committed to YouTube. So since then, it's just been YouTube. Just through YouTube and a property that I have rented out, but my focus of my source of income is YouTube, through memberships, through donations, through advertising on YouTube, and then slowly but surely, hopefully, through brand deals. And that brings me on to the sponsor of this video, me. So if you could subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the notification button, or the bell, that would be fantastic, because I get paid when you guys watch the videos. So money comes from views, not subscribers, but if you subscribe, you're more likely to see the videos, and if you hit the notifications, you're more likely not to miss the videos. So, thanks to today's sponsor, Joe Parrilla. I've been on 2 cruises, both with Princess Cruises, and I will say it surprised me. It changed my opinion, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it to a degree. I mean, I was working on it. It would probably be a bit of a different dynamic if I was just on holiday. But from a relaxation perspective, from a enjoyment perspective, from a food perspective, from a destination perspective, I really enjoyed it. And it's just another string in my bow for methods of travel, I would say. I don't know if I'm quite ready to book my own yet. Might wait for the call back and say, do I want to come on another one? But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It used to be Japan, but I've done that, or I've been there, done that. I don't like it when people say I've done that country, and I've done it myself. It used to be Japan, but I've been to Japan. Now I would say Alaska or Antarctica, and actually, cruise companies, I would like to go there on a cruise, because I think it would be amazing in that sense. Well, one is an expedition, right? You don't go on a cruise to Antarctica, you go on an expedition. But you definitely can go on a cruise to Alaska, and I think that would be awesome. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Unfortunately, I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. I don't know how good that is, but it's captivating. And well, not everything, but some of the conversations on there, I find just interesting to hear those perspectives. Rest is history, really good. Love listening about history, love learning about history. And then Infinite Monkey Cage, if you like science and a bit of comedy thrown in, they're pretty good. Well, that list is long, so I don't know if we'll get into that. Let's go with creativity. I'm not the most creative person, and now I'm working in a way which I need to be creative, and I must admit, I struggle. Whether that's thumbnails or content or how I narrate or anything in video shots. I think creativity is definitely one of my weakest points among a raft of weak points. I would like to be a more creative person. I don't know how you can learn creativity or unlock creativity. I kind of think if you are, you are. If you're not, you're not. And maybe I'm in the wrong job. And finally, do I have a girlfriend? Well, I'm not going to give it to you that easy. We're going to do the YouTube questions first, and then I'll tell you about my love life. Let's go. I've answered this question before, and a bit like cooking actually, I think it says a lot about my personality, doesn't it? I like a challenge. I was watching a YouTube video and I made a comment about it, and the person next to me said, well, why don't you try it? So I picked up a GoPro, made one video in Funchal actually, a food tour, and it did absolutely nothing. I think it was just my mum, my sister and my friend who watched it. And I thought, okay, YouTube's not for me. And then about 3 months later, the algorithm had picked it up and I was getting all these notifications with comments and likes. And I thought, okay, maybe there's something in this. Let's make one video per week and see how it goes. And here I am, 2 channels, 40,000 across both channels, more than 40,000 across both channels now. And hopefully, more in the future. Everyone thinks that YouTube is this gold mine, that you start a YouTube channel or Instagram or TikTok and it leads to a fountain of money. I wish that were true. It's a lot of hard work and initially for not a lot of gain. It does make money. To be honest, with YouTube and with my rental income, I pay for my life. Obviously, that's why I don't have another job. But it's not quite as much as you expect, and it really depends on who's watching, where they're from, how long they watch, what type of content you're making. It is interesting, it also is a little bit addicting, having a look at all of that to try and work out how you can maximize it. And then the donations, whether it's to PayPal or whether it's through YouTube or whether it's through memberships, they make such a big difference. That's the bonus money. And then I have the Madeira Food Map, which I didn't mention, I have the Madeira Food Map. All in all, it's a bit up and down. You can have a good month and you can have a bad month. Where you really grow is with brand deals, and hopefully, I know it's annoying, but hopefully you'll see a few more brand deals on the channel, and that would allow me to really maximize the channel. But what I don't want to do is sit here and tell you that you can make a fantastic amount of money on YouTube and it will change your life. Don't quit your job just yet. Other than the cliche, which is just start, and you have to just start, because you're not going to learn, and you're not going to really learn until you start making videos. And then it's a case of bit by bit, improve and improve, get comfortable on camera, try a new edit, try a new transition, try a new music, try a new cut, and keep improving. That is the #1 tip. But what I would say from personal experience is don't chase views. Don't go for the things that are always most popular that you know are going to take off, especially in Southeast Asia, especially in countries where you don't really want to harvest the audience from for, as I say, monetization reasons. What you want to do is build your personality into the channel, build a community, make it as much about you as it can be in the niche that you're in, and pick something that you're okay talking about. Because if you're making hundreds of videos, you're going to have to be comfortable with it. But get started. Yes, they do. Like I said, some videos just do better than others. One trend I noticed is in capital cities, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Seoul. These videos just do better. And whilst that is great, if you want to chase views, you have to make them. You know you're going to make some content in that capital city. But for me, I love it where I'm off the beaten path, where I'm having an adventure. And that can be annoying because I think I make nice videos. For example, my southern Thailand trip, I think it's a nice series. No one watched it because no one's that interested in off the beaten path places. So that's for one. And then you have these viral videos that just do better, or types of videos that just do better. If you look, when people go to Thailand and to Bangkok, they make the same videos, a shopping mall video, a video at one of the markets, a video trying food for the first time. It's great, they get views, but then you're just doing the same as everyone else. And I've been caught in that. So, as I say, build your own path, make your own path. It might take longer, but I promise you, it will be more sustainable. Well, the answer is firmly no. In fact, I think I put more hours in now filming, editing, thinking, constantly thinking of how I can improve thumbnails, descriptions, titles, everything, little changes, see if it makes a difference. I put more effort in now than I did when I was IT consulting, which is crazy, right? That's known as an industry where you work long hours. But the difference is into my own thing, and I feel like the more effort I put in, the more I can potentially get back out of it. But it doesn't always come without its frustration, let's say. It can be incredibly frustrating at times, but I wouldn't swap it for the world. Not yet, not in this building phase, not where I want to see where it can take me. But I do need to find a work-life balance at some point. It's not healthy to do this much. And I could do more, that's the thing, I think I could do more. But I have burnt out 3 times in the last few years, or since I started YouTube. So yeah, it's definitely something that's on my mind. That is easy. Roaming cook, Gary, who I film with a lot, good friend. Paddy Doyle, also a good friend, love his content. He was really one of the ones who inspired me to start the channel in the first place, or at least go down the direction that I went down. Both of those two did that. But recently, I've been watching more cinematic stuff, and there's a few that really stand out. Gorks, he has amazing art, incredible art, and just amazing cinematography. Life of Reza, also cinematic, that has amazing storytelling, amazing cinematography in there as well. And I've been going back and watching a lot of Casey Neistat, if not the most, one of the most famous YouTubers. And I think it's important to watch people outside of your niche. That's the same in life, really, isn't it? Get out of your circle, see new things, get new perspectives, to learn cuts, to learn storytelling, to learn different ways of doing things. Otherwise, you do get caught up in, yeah, just what you're used to and in your comfort zone. That's what I do in life. That's what I do on YouTube. All right, time for the question none of you have been waiting for. Do I have a girlfriend? Comes up every time. Last time I did one of these Q&As, the answer was yes. Yes, I do have a girlfriend. But sadly, the answer this time is no, I don't have a girlfriend. It's over, guys. Like this video, the relationship is over. So if any of you fancy reaching out, here I am. If not, let me know which questions I missed and I'll answer them next time. Take care.